And that helped a lot. But eventually, I mean, unless I was going to be in therapy for the rest of my life, I needed a way to figure it out on my own. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dina Haynes, author of the original reality book series, teaching you how to create the life of your dreams through manifestation and scripting. Today, I'm talking about, I think it's a controversial issue, but we'll see. It's basically comparison between faith versus science. I believe manifestation falls really in between the two. But before we get into the topic, I just want to remind you that I am picking one person every month to receive a free 30-minute manifestation coaching session with me. And if you like, subscribe, and comment down below, you will enter into that drawing. If you don't want to wait and you need some manifestation coaching now, you want some feedback, definitely check out my prices here. I am accepting appointments. And during our appointment, we will discuss what your blockages are. I can do a little tarot or angel card reading to talk about where you're at in the moment and how we can push you forward in your manifestation goals. So now that we're done with that business, let's get into it. Because manifestation can be proven. So you can prove it to yourself. And that's really the movement that's going on right now. I think it feels like a movement to me. Definitely on YouTube. Some people have been learning about it for a long time. But some of us are just really getting into it. I've been on the spiritual path for decades now. Manifestation is something that really has come up for me in the past like 5 to 10 years. So manifestation falls to me in between because it can be proven. You can prove to yourself that you can manifest things. And I've done a bunch of videos about exactly how to do that. We're all manifesting. We've been manifesting since we've been born. And how you manifest, most people are manifesting on what I would call autopilot. So that means maybe you experience what Abraham Hicks calls a contrasting event. Something that's undesirable happens to you. From that event, a desire is born. So if somebody hits you, you feel pain and you immediately know you have a desire. I don't like to be hit. So that's just to break it down super simple, right? Or it could be maybe you experienced poverty growing up, and then when you become an adult, you have this desire. I don't ever want to be poor again. I always want to have money in abundance. This is manifestation. We are doing it all of the time. You can test it with innocuous things, like say you want to see a butterfly, or you want to have someone tell you you're beautiful today. These are things that you can test. You can write it down on a piece of paper, go out and then drop it. You say, okay, I want someone's going to tell me I'm beautiful today. I'm going to see a yellow butterfly. I'm going to find a 50-cent piece. Oh my God, when's the last time you guys saw a 50-cent piece? Are they even in circulation anymore? I don't know. I kind of want to manifest that now. That's like so cool. Okay, so you write it down and then drop it. Go out into your world, not even thinking about that list. And as these things manifest in your life, it's like this sense of wonder. Oh my God, I can't believe I manifested that crazy innocuous thing. So that's how you can prove it to yourself. But the faith part of it is, I don't know, I think it's mysterious, right? It's like, how was it that I was able to manifest that? And that's the part that's a little harder to explain. When I started my journey in terms of figuring these things out, it started out as a spiritual journey. I was raised in a family of basically atheists. We didn't really have much religion going on in my household. So the mantra that we lived by and what we were taught in my family is just you treat others as you would want to be treated. So, which is just basic goodness. And when you're out on your own and you start to really experience adversity, you start to search for a reason, like why is my life not stacking up to how I want it to be? And that's really when I started my spiritual journey to figure out, how does this thing called life all work? And it started out spiritual. Like I didn't study religions, but I just wanted to know how it all worked and see if I could get a bead on what my purpose is here. And it started with Deepak Chopra. I watched him on Oprah many moons ago when Oprah still had her show. And there was something he said, I can't even remember what it was, but he showed me that in life you had choices. And at the time I couldn't really feel or see my choices. And once I knew that there were choices, that became my pursuit. Like, how do I figure out how to get a hold of these choices and what are these choices? And I went through therapy, I went to an actual therapist and did that for several years. And that helped a lot. But eventually, unless I was going to be in therapy for the rest of my life, I needed a way to figure it out on my own. So I didn't study organized religions because I've never read the Bible. I always looked at the Bible as like a story. And I know it's supposed to be a true telling, but either way, it's a story. When someone tells you, even when someone gives you a recollection of a past event, they're telling you a story. It's how they saw it, how they remember it. It's through a particular lens. So that's kind of how I looked at it. And to me, organized religion always seemed just that. It's through someone else's lens. I wanted to have a personal relationship with the higher being. And I didn't even know what that was. I mean, I guess I always had a feeling that it is God. That is what we talk about in our culture. But I always knew it was a higher being, a being that knows all. And that's what I made the focus of my spiritual journey, was having a personal connection with God, with whatever that higher being is. Now, science is fantastic, but science really is humans' way of wrapping their brain around everything, the surroundings, how things work, why we're here. That's what science seeks to prove. So to me, the argument of faith and science, you can't even compare, because all this came first. And anything within is just our attempt to explain it and make sense of it. And I believe there are parts of the world that we will never figure out. I think it is such a big mystery. And science has made so many strides toward explaining and with empirical tests and proving why things work the way they do. We have an understanding, a scientific understanding of a lot of the processes in the world, a lot of like how our bodies work and how things outside grow and how to build things. And what science doesn't consider is the unexplainable. And science tends to just say, well, if it's unexplainable, then it doesn't exist. But I think there are plenty of experiences in the world that show that that's just, I think it's arrogant to think that we as humans would be able to understand the magic of life, the magic of the universe, the magic of this world. While I love science and I think it's a great benefit to humans, sometimes it's also a detriment. I mean, some things we build as humans aren't good for us or the earth. So there really is no comparison. I just think um, I think you kind of have to have a little of both. You have to have a little science, right? Because without science, then I guess we wouldn't be able to prove to ourselves that manifestation works, that we are the creators of our reality. And yet we have to keep our minds open for the unexplainable. When we do that, that really expands our beliefs so that we can create better. I think there has to be an edge of the mystical, and you sort of have to give in to that side of manifestation and that side of life in order to get the most out of it. People who just rely on science, then they're missing out on the miracles of life. We are each creators, deliberate creators of our own reality. And you can prove it by testing, but then also keep your mind open to the fact that there is a mystical element that we just can't explain. We might not ever be able to explain, but it just is. And that takes our belief, that takes faith. And that concludes this session. Hopefully it made sense. With that concludes this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you'll be notified when the next video goes up. And comment down below. Enter that drawing to win a free 30-minute session with me. And stay tuned for next time, where I'm going to talk about law of attraction terms. Those words that kind of make you go, huh? I will see you next time.